Welcome back everyone to Piney Plays Minecraft Skirmish, and welcome to the future site of Dol Guldur. That's right, probably a little bit of terraform, but this looks like a very nice place to put buried Guldur, and we have some nice hilly areas where I think the rest of Dol Guldur can also go. And Dol Guldur will take care of 3 skirmishes. We have the breaching of the Necromancer's Gate, which will be circling around the perimeter. Assault on the Ringwraith's Lair, which will be heading into the Baileys, which I think this might be a good place for one of the Baileys, and then the other Bailey can be up here. And we have things circle around to an entrance to the tower. I have to work on that a little bit more, but I have a couple of weeks to decide exactly what I want to do. But the idea here is to have this tower dominant. Now the tower can't be a scrawny little one like I did at Fongohad, where I decided to do it at half or a third of a scale, and that would do because that's all I could do in this place. The tower here at Dol Guldur has to be at a reasonably large scale, simply because it's not a pure exterior scene. The tower here has an entire skirmish that's fought within it, so therefore we need both the outside and the inside, which means I'm going to need this to be at full scale. So therefore I'll be building Dol Guldur as much as I can around here. But of course, Dol Guldur is not our primary concern at the moment. That's for the future. Right now, the big concern is, of course, the Icy Crevasse. And I'm going to meet you back over there where we will have the rest of our episode. We are back here at the Icy Crevasse. And down here, we have the bottom, which is made out of wool and of wool carpet to give it a nice snowy effect, but of course the effect is completely ruined when we look at all of these sides, which are very, very gray still. So we're going to have to make that white too. Now this will be our boss room eventually, but that will be later. For now, I need to worry about getting some snow up, as in here we'll need these walls to go up higher than it is currently, which is going to be a real thrill to do, because that means going up high places, and you know me with high places, they don't mix out very well, especially like this. How am I going to manage this? I don't know, but I am going to have to get down there and that's one way of handling it. Alright, and yeah, that's nice and filled in. Alright, good. And I'm going to have to do this quite a bit more, probably. And we're going to have to do this all over the place through here. And this is going to take a long time. I may just decide to start on Dol Guldur, because it's going to be really boring, I think, in order to get all this through here. So I may just start Dol Guldur earlier than, well, maybe not earlier than anticipated, because I figure we've only got one more episode after this anyway, where I'll actually be introducing what I'm doing in here. So probably next week we could have a look at how far I got along here and work on the boss room, which is probably the most important thing to do for next week. Meanwhile, probably while I'm working on Dol Guldur, I'll probably occasionally be coming back here to actually get this more complete, because this looks like it's going to be a very long and tedious task of placing blocks and getting them all along the side, because that's the Icy Crevasse. It's going to... At least this is going to help me to get up, and I was wondering how I was going to get up there in order to get rid of some of those blocks, and that's the easy way, and it is use the wool as my scaffolding, so to speak. Now, did I just... No, I didn't miss anything there. Alright. Because I'm going to have to place the wool here anyway. So this is probably the technique I'm going to be using unless I can find some better way of handling it. And meanwhile, every once in a while, I can get rid of what's ahead of me. And this should clear things out quite a bit. Alright, well, I probably didn't have to clear out all of that end, but okay. But maybe that'll work out in the end. Already on top of me? Good grief, I thought I would have been able to do better on that. Alright, good, and up on that. Okay, good. I wonder if I can get that piece, or if it's going to be... Well... No, I didn't want to put a carpet there. No. Alright, good. Now I got those two pieces. So we'll see what happens here. Good, 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 good. But this is probably the technique I am going to be using all over the place while I'm working on this build. Now the question is, should I accept that going inside, or should I just fill it with something? I'll just throw some cobble back here, and it's going to get covered up, so it's not like it's going to be a major problem if I'm using cobble there, and I don't have to worry about aesthetics for something that's being hidden. Alright, good. Well, I am going to have to put a torch here so that nothing spawns there while I'm working on... Well, fortunately, I've got plenty of wool to come back up on. Now, the other reason why this is going to take forever is, yeah, I can already see I am going to be running out of wool well before I finish this. It might take a year for me to do it all in order to get enough wool for it. Alright, now this up here. Good. I am going to have bins and bins and bins of cobblestone by the time I get through with this. Alright. I don't know if there's a more efficient way of doing this. Maybe if someone could tell me of a more efficient way of handling such things. I mean, without using automated machines and stuff like this. This is a vanilla series, so I won't be using mods in order to do it. Mods make things a lot easier, but then... Well, let's see. There. Oh, sometimes it feels like cheating when you do it with a mod. I know, that's just the way I am on such things. Maybe someday I will do a series involving mods instead of vanilla. I think that before you use mods in order to improve your building, you first need to know the fundamentals very well. Wow. Alright. And I'm still a bit of a lot to learn concerning the fundamentals of building in Minecraft. So let us go. Good. So let's get rid of more of this. And you get the idea. So what I'll do is I will cut for a moment and see what I can get, at least on getting this wall all the way up and having a look at it to see how it looks. I'll be back in one moment. Here we are back, and that is a really deep crevasse, I must say. And it was way up, all the way up to there. So I'm not too places, I would say, too deep, so to speak, but I don't think there's much I can do about that. Well, okay, there is something I could do. I could just fill in quite a bit of the bottom, but I think that will probably make things worse rather than better in the long run. So we'll just have to go with a particularly deep crevasse. Now, unfortunately, a particularly deep crevasse is going to require a particularly great amount of wool, because I've used up a huge amount of wool in order just to create this 6-block section, and this is all I've got left with the wool now. A little bit more than about a stack and a half, a little bit more than that. So that means that I am unlikely to be able to finish this with the wool reserves I have. So when I was guessing earlier that I was probably going to run out of wool well before this is over with, I think I have to say that that guess is completely correct. So this is going to take some time, raising more and more sheep, getting all this wool up here and building up. I'll have to decide what I am going to do about that. Because even the ridiculous amounts of wool I've been collecting recently is not going to be enough for the project. So next week, what I am going to do is I'm going to get enough wool in order to at least handle this section in here. And we're going to turn this into a boss. Now, we're not going to go all the way deep in here. I would say probably up to here. I could expand this room. Probably have to block off these two ends and turn this into a room for the boss fight. Ooh! There is something I had forgotten when I was thinking of the boss fight. Suddenly remembered, and that is, of course, the steam vents. We need steam vents. Now, I think this will be a good place for a steam vent. See, that's what's caused the crack for this to fall in, is maybe that there was a steam vent here. So, therefore, well, that's one of my light sources. Well, I guess that's appropriate place then, and one of my light sources can be turned into a steam vent. But I don't want the light source to be immediately there, because what I want to do is I want to see what would happen if I am a block above. I'm hoping that some of the smoke will come out and that it's visible. That's my plan for this. And I am going to need this in order to get up. Alright, so this could be one of our... Oh boy, this looks really horrible. But I can't think of too much to do about that. Oh, I am well, I don't know whether stony sides or white sides would be better in this case, considering that it is, after all, a steam vent, so one could argue that the ice will melt. But I'm going to try white sides anyway and see how that looks. After we refill a little bit, alright. 2, 3, 4, 5. Good, and alright, that well, So much for that. Alright, well at least we'll get a good idea what it looks like, and I can finish it off later. Good. Alright, well, you see a little bit of stuff coming out of it, so it looks like it could be smoke maybe coming out from the steam vent. Not perfect, but I don't know how to get a narrower opening that way. If I think of some narrower way of doing it, then maybe I could close it up and make it look better than that. But for now, that's the way what we're going to have to do for our steam vents. And that is all for this week. So next time, we are going to work on the boss room, see if we can get that all nice and at least into a decent state here. I'll have more wool collected hopefully, so I have enough wool to handle the boss room. Then hopefully the next episode after that, we can actually start looking into what we're going to do with Dol Guldur. But next week, boss room in Pineleaf Plays Minecraft Skirmish with the Icy Crevasse.